scorecards. We have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Max DeLuca scores the bout 116 to 112 in favor of Armando Resendiz. Judge at ringside, David Sutherland scores the bout 115 to 113 to calebplant. Judge at ringside, Steve Weisfeld sees it 116 to 112 in favor of the winner. And the new interim WBA super middleweight world champion, Armando Toro Resendiz.
What's up, everybody? It is your girl JabQueen Boxing, and we are back. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. Let's get into it, baby. So, I actually saw the scorecard late last night, I think, and I was like, you know what? This guy is crazy. But then today I said to myself, I wonder how many times he scored it like this before, right? So, as you can see, his final score was a split decision, 115 to 113 in favor of Plant, right? Um, I'm not sure how he scored it that way. I mean, Caleb Plant was hurt throughout the fight. He was gassed. He fought with his hands in his pocket basically from round 3 on. Resendiz was definitely the aggressor throughout the whole fight. He had Caleb fighting off the back foot. Despite all of this, you still gave it to Plant. I mean, you gave him rounds 10 through 12, basically. And by that, I just mean basically you gave him the championship rounds, right? So, again, I'm not sure which rounds he gave Caleb, but I gave him 1, 2, the first half of 3, 4, and possibly 11. Other than that, I found that it was really a sweep for Resendiz. So I started looking into him, right? And as you can see, his name is David Sutherland. He did the same thing with Haney versus Lomachenko, 113 to 115. He was also the judge in the Spence versus Earl. And I'm just making a parallel with that fight because, we all obviously saw what we saw. He was the judge in Chocolatito Gonzalez and Francisco Estrada. He scored it 113, 115. So I'm not sure if he just likes that number or how he's scoring these fights. Resendiz not only banked sufficient rounds, he had crucial moments within those rounds, right? So he landed some really good shots that I feel helped him later down the stretch. For example, early, he started going to the body. Now, I expected Caleb Plant to start going to the body early because Resendiz fights with an extremely high guard, leaving his body open. And I said, well, shit, Caleb's the slicker fighter. He's a little faster, so it would appear. But right out the gate, Resendiz asserted his dominance. He caught Caleb with a straight right in round 3. He walked him down from round 3 on, basically. Like I said, he continued to go to the body, which eventually slowed him down later down the stretch. He caught, which helped catch Caleb flush several times in the face, which is why Caleb's nose started bleeding. Like I said, he started catching him flush. He hit him with 2 good body shots, I thought, in round 5, like back to back almost. He stalked him down. He was piecing him up. Let's see. He threw a, what was that? A stiff, I think a stiff left. In round 8 that really seemed to hurt Caleb. Piecing him up again round 9, just basically dominating him throughout the entire fight. Um, it looked like he opened up Caleb's eye in round 10. And then the last, couple of seconds of the final round, Caleb seemed to really try to, press the gas. But by that time, I felt it was a little late for Caleb. You know what I mean? I feel like he did not do enough for him to get that scored a draw. Now, I get it, at the time he was the champion. So I don't know if they kind of edge it to the champion in fights like this. However, it was plain as day that the winner was Resendiz in this particular fight. I'm not sure, like I said, why he scored it that way, which is why I looked into some of his other fights. So he's been judging for quite some time. I couldn't find anything wildly crazy about his scoring practices. It was just something that, stood out to me, and I was just a little curious. But it appears to me that Caleb Plant may struggle with Latin fighters. This is the third, I believe, Mexican that he has lost to. David Benavidez, the Chucky Doll, Canelo Alvarez, and now Armando Resendiz. So again, I don't know how he scored it this way because I didn't see Caleb make any adjustments. Resendiz was basically the hungrier fighter. Now, I don't know if Caleb was looking forward to possibly his next fight with Charlo, so he wasn't really focused on this fight. I'm not sure what happened. I do know that most recently Caleb has come out and said that he has a hand injury. I know Breadman has done a couple of interviews as of late. But basically, in my eyes, and I like Caleb Plant. I'm always going to root for Caleb. But I don't like the excuses that are being made. And I don't like what I saw in that particular fight. I don't know if they planned on just giving Caleb the fight, because if you remember, even Resendez's corner said, listen, you got to watch your head because they're looking to take points away from you. So again, that tells me they were also aware of the fact that, hey, the fix might be in. They're looking for any reason to kind of give Caleb this fight. And for some reason, that seems to be happening in a lot of these fights. The May 2nd card that we saw, it was all laid out for Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia to win so that they could possibly rematch. It appears that that's what happened on Saturday night. It was laid out for Caleb Plant to win, for JabQueens to win, and then for them somehow to get the rematch manufactured. And I don't have a problem with, creating some sort of buzz for a fight down the line, but I don't think that we should be shaping fights, or at the very least appearing that we're shaping fights, because if you remember, there are 4 opponents, okay, that have to participate in whatever sham you guys are trying to cook up. And as you can see, going back again to that May 2nd card, um, Rolly was not having it. You know what I'm saying? Resendiz, as of Saturday, was not having it. You can't overlook people that have their own career goals and their own things within the sport that they are trying to do just because you want to shape a fight in the future with 2 guys that you think are bigger stars, because they put in the same amount of work in the gym to put on a dominant performance, and they want to become stars themselves. So I just didn't really like that. Again, this is why I ended up looking into David Sutherland, because to me that was just a little bit egregious. It was plain as day to see that Resendiz was the more dominant boxer on that night, in particular. So That's just food for thought. Like when you're trying to make future fights, I wouldn't put so much emphasis on them, and because that puts a lot of pressure on the fighters to perform, and their mind may not be there. That's a lot on their shoulders. You know what I mean? So just something to keep in mind. Just like when Turkey called on the press conference for the upcoming July 12th card, reminding these guys that, it's imperative that they win their fights because he has big plans for them in the future. I mean, moral of the story, let these boys eat what's on their plate before you offer them seconds.